Imagine someone with a drinking problem, addicted to alcohol, drugs, or cigarettes. Now, in order to quit, how effective do you think hiding the cigarettes is? Absolutely pointless, right? And then how come that's our only approach when we try to quit our scrolling addiction?
My wife is my wife. She is not.
This is me writing, considerably locked in and considerably not distracted. Pretty commendable, right? Well, it wasn't always like this. Just a few weeks back, I was distracted beyond measure, hanging on to deadlines and not getting any work done. I was stuck in something called the new word, doomscrolling. For me, my friend, I am a very self-aware being. That is why I solved the problem. I analyzed it, I understood it, and the only solution is that the phone needs to go. But I understood my mistake. It was not the phone, it was Instagram that needed to go. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I was finally free from doom scrolling. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button. Oh shit. If you have ever tried to fight distractions by uninstalling a social media app, this problem is very familiar to you. Quitting a single app doesn't change anything. I forced myself to stop watching YouTube and Instagram just to find myself scrolling Pinterest the very next day. And especially because I'm a content creator, it is very impractical for me to completely get off these platforms. So getting off YouTube completely is probably not a very wise decision. But that begs the question, what exactly is the solution? By the way, this is the first time here we are trying to hit 200k subscribers before 2025. Seems pretty impossible, but I know you guys can do it. There are two layers to my solution, two very independent layers. Now, to understand why these solutions work, how they work, and how do they fit into our daily lives, we first need to dig deeper into the problem, because the problems we are seeing on the surface are often a symptom of a bigger problem underneath. Imagine someone with a drinking problem, addicted to alcohol, drugs, or cigarettes. In order to make them quit, how effective do you think hiding the cigarettes are? Absolutely pointless, right? Because that is a very superficial solution. It's like putting a band-aid on a bullet hole. Yes, any kind of Nasha Mukti Kendra or a rehabilitation center will always focus on why a person drinks or smokes, not what the person drinks or smokes. And our approach should be similar. So first, let's try to understand why do we get distracted really. A distraction only exists when there is something to be done. Scrolling reels when you're traveling by a bus is not really distraction because there's nothing else to do. To be coined as a distraction, there must be some work being avoided, be it homework, editing, or cooking. So the next question we need to ask is, why are we avoiding this work? Number one, you don't find the work any fun. Number two, you find the work too difficult. And number three, you don't exactly know what you should be doing. Therefore, you're going to be watching 10 different YouTube videos that can tell you the perfect strategy to start off how you can execute this work to the most optimal level, aka lack of clarity. Now, without going down the rabbit hole of optimum productivity, here are a few no bullshit advice to solve all these three problems. Number one, if you don't find your work any fun, I need you to remember something, that even for people who are following their passion, their dreams, it is not always fun. But then most of us cannot really change our work. So it is either sheer willpower or being around people who are also working on the same thing. The second one works wonders. Just being around people who are also doing the same thing, also going through the same suffering, it just adds a whole lot of accountability and makes the work a lot easier. Number two, if you find your work too difficult, I don't want to bullshit you, it is basically skill issue. You need to take a step back and learn the fundamentals of whatever you're doing, so that whatever you are stuck at right now, you have to backtrack, come back and relearn everything and up to that point, so that everything becomes a little more approachable for you. Number three was lack of clarity. If you don't exactly know what you should be doing at this very moment, you need to first take out a notebook, make an exact plan of the steps that you need to take one after another, and then you have to do something called time blocking, because without that you will be wasting a lot of time. Time blocking is a very simple phenomenon that can be done on paper, but it is best done on Akiflow, who are also the sponsor of today's video. Time blocking basically means having 3 to 4 tasks in a day and assigning more than 1 hour, like 2 to 3 hour chunk of time, a concrete chunk of time to one particular task, and only focusing on that task for that extent of time. This reduces context switches and extremely, like it increases your productivity exponentially. So all you need to do is to make a new project, list down the tasks for the day and drag those tasks onto the calendar to assign them a time block. And thanks to the new Akiflow AI, your task will automatically get assigned to the most relevant project. Akiflow also has this neat little shortcut to access a powerful command bar which can be used to almost do anything inside of Akiflow. I have also linked my Google Calendar and Notion to Akiflow, and if you're using any other app like Asana, Todoist or any other calendar app, you can seamlessly connect them to Akiflow. With the new ritual tool and the stats, you can look back and analyze your performance as well. If that sounds like a lot to digest, you can book a one-on-one onboarding call for absolutely free. And if you are a student, you can get a 40% discount using this code right over here. Thanks a lot to Akiflow for making this video possible. Now, unless you have zoned out, you finally understand what exactly is the core problem behind you getting distracted, at least in your particular case. And congrats, awareness is the first step towards rehabilitation. But there is one small problem. All these things that I mentioned right up here take time to execute, and they take time to get used to and to seep into your daily lifestyle. So until they actually get the effect into your life, we have to do something we're quite familiar with. We need to burn the cigarettes. Now, to minimize our distractions until the real medicines kick in, we need a strategy. Now, it cannot be staying completely off YouTube, because a lot of us learn things like cooking, coding or editing, all of these things from YouTube. But before we know it, we will end up watching something that does not provide much of a value, educational value to us while we are in a particular time block where we should be working, and that is not a good news, but that happens inevitably. Now, what if I told you there is a very simple solution to this particular problem? Now, fair disclaimer, this idea is not mine. I found it on a channel called Odysseus where he was talking about overconsumption, and highly recommend the channel. I'll link the video in the description as well. But I have been doing what he preached in that video for the last 7-8 days now, and I should tell you, like, it has completely changed the way I consume content, at least on YouTube. I don't use Instagram much. I would just get rid of Instagram when I'm too distracted, but YouTube is different. So what he preached is that always have a notebook open on your desk when you're watching YouTube, and no matter what the video is, you have to take notes. And this has been doing two things for me. It has made me substantially more mindful about the content that I'm consuming. I cannot just go into a meme or cat video and take notes. Oh, the cat jumped off the table. So hilarious, guys. I cannot really do that. And the second thing is, whenever I'm watching an educational video where something is actually to learn, the videos that I should be watching in my productive time block, I absorbed the information in a lot better and a lot efficient way. Yes, it took a little more time to complete the video, but those information, because I wrote them down, are much deeper embedded into my head, and also I can just go back to them without watching the video. I can just go back to those information anytime I want. And secondly, to quit a bad habit, you cannot just quit a bad habit. You have to fill the newly created gap with something good, or at least something better than what you are using before. I use this tactic quite often. Like every year there will be 3 to 4 instances where I will be like, bro, I want to read more books. Like I will have books all around me here and there, but how do I get into the habit of reading? It is very simple. It is to keep a book beside your phone on the table, and whenever you feel the urge to go for the phone, just make a very quick decision to pick up the book instead, open it, read one page, and I kid you not, whenever I'm in this mood now, I will be reading. I will be at least finishing like 2 books every month, and my screen time will be down by at least 2-3 hours. So that's a huge win. Instead of hiding the cigarettes, we can probably make them a little less attractive. I would often turn my iPhone black and white so that watching reels is not very fun anymore. I would often put my phone a little bit away from my reach, and I would often just live stream myself working or studying whatever I'm doing, so that I cannot really slack off. Overall, the main problem lies in the lack of attention towards our work and probably a life that is not very fun. Therefore, to fix the problem from the roots, I would highly recommend to find yourself a third place, be it gym, some sports, a book club or a music band. All these things are much more fun and fulfilling than just scrolling Instagram. But there is still one looming question. Are we just supposed to consume content that's valuable? What's the harm in watching something entertaining or some brain rot when you've got essentially nothing to do? Now, the answer to that is no. It doesn't always have to be valuable, but there is also a caveat that the content you majorly consume play a very vital role in shaping your personality and your worldview, which is a whole video in itself. So let me know in the comments below if you want me to make a video about that. And other than that, really thanks for watching. We are trying to reach 200k subscribers before the end of 2024. So if you have not hit that subscribe button yet, you know exactly what to do. And thanks a lot for watching. A new video is coming very, very soon. Love you all. See ya.